All righty. Whoop, whoop. I think we're live. We got a lot of people in here. Who we got, babe?
Well, we got Tim Beverly, Homemade Everything, Lynn trying to Homestead, Jason Ya. I saw Nanda Bonterre, Dandelion Fields Homestead, South Georgia Hydroponics, Mountain Mama. Yes, the Pratts are in the house.
Whoop, whoop. So I was actually just working on trying to get published a video that Jenny and I made about for the last couple days of what's been going on, or 5 days of what's been going on, and I didn't edit it or anything. It's just us rambling for about 20 minutes of
pretty much
what's happened since Saturday and why or whatever. So
yeah.
First of all, we really appreciate all the support from everybody.
Yep. Messages, comments, Facebook messages, just everything.
Right, and if nobody knows, I don't know if you need to refresh that, babe.
Oh,
I don't know if anybody knows, or if everybody knows, but I was in the hospital since Saturday night and came home yesterday. That was a lot of fun, sitting in a hospital bed.
He was bored out of his mind.
Yeah. So,
there we go.
There you go. All right. So I decided, instead of rushing to edit that video, and well, not edit it because I'm not even editing it. We just took it and publishing it. But to finish publishing it, I guess we'll talk about it here first, and after the live show, we'll publish it.
Yep.
So if you're here, you get to hear the long, boring story. Well, it's not a real long, boring story. Oh, do we have any prizes to give away tonight?
I didn't dig.
I know. Yeah, we haven't had time to do anything.
We might have to skip.
We definitely have some OHG to give away.
Yes, we definitely have those.
And we'll give them away to 3 people. 100 seeds to 3 people.
Oh, I have to count them? I usually just...
The kids love counting.
Well, that's true.
The kids love counting.
It'll be good practice for them.
It'll be good practice for them. So, I don't know.
Everybody's asking how you doing.
Mountain Mama, glad you're home, brother. Thanks, South Georgia. Hydroponics, I'm feeling good. So, I guess just to get it over with, we'll just discuss what
doing okay.
Originally happened. I'm doing good. I still do not feel right. Definitely not 100% or whatever. But so we'll go back to Saturday night.
Jam at the nut house. Got my popcorn. You start splaining. She spelled it. Splaining too.
On it. So we'll go back to Saturday night. For about a week, I say a week. Jenny says about a week and a half. I've been having a lot of discomfort right here, about center mass in my chest. A lot of discomfort.
You don't move that arm.
No, I'm not allowed to move this hand, supposedly, Dr. Jenny. They did a catheter test on me, and they went through my wrist, and I'm not allowed to move it for the next 3 or 4 days. And I'm not allowed to lift anything bigger than a half-gallon milk jug.
Yep.
For fear of rupturing the hole in the artery. I mean, it kind of makes sense. But anyway, so it all started...
the kitchen, but not like that.
So it all started week and a half before Saturday of some pretty good discomfort in my chest. Not pain, not an elephant sitting on my chest, not super tightness, not just a lot of discomfort, and I was chalking it up to indigestion. And then come Saturday night, and this has been going on, and when I'd get real active, or not even real active, but get up off my butt and go walk around, clean out the workshop a little bit, it flares up and it really starts spreading out, and it's very uncomfortable, and I mean honestly kind of scary.
Yes. And
so Jenny and I were talking about it Saturday night, and Jenny's like, "Come on, Mike, gotta get in the doctor," and I'm like, "I know, I gotta go to the doctor." And hey, Mark, Bone Beat Junction, how's it going? And so we were talking about that Saturday night. She's like, "Come on, Mike, you gotta get to the doctor." And I was like, "Okay, we'll get in next week." And she got up to go do something. I don't know. We were pretty much done talking at the moment.
Yeah, we were. And so I just walked out of the room. I don't remember what I was coming out here for. And I hear, Jenny. And so I'm like, okay. I mean, usually, even some people have commented, you call me babe a lot more than anything.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And so I was like, whoa, you saying my name. So I'm running out there. And he's like, I think we need to go to the doctor now. And I'm like, is this an ambulance situation or just take you to the doctor? And he said, take me to the doctor. I said, okay. So I walked back out of the room, came around this loop right here to the stairs, hollered up the stairs for the kids. I said, I need all of you to get shoes on right now. Do not ask me any questions. One kid made it down the stairs, which is Andrew. And Andrew has actually had to put quarters in the running jar because the boy's always moving so fast.
Yeah, Jenny came up with a running jar.
And so he was instantly down the stairs, and Mike was calling for me real quick then, too. And I went back out to the living room, and he said, you need to call for an ambulance. And so I'm like, okay. So his phone was right there on the ottoman, picked up his phone, called for an ambulance.
And for me to call an ambulance...
It takes something. I mean,
I don't think I've ever called an ambulance in my life.
For me, you have. You called an ambulance for
you,
me to
for
deliver.
You I have, yeah.
For me to deliver a baby.
That's the whole Grace giving birth thing. That's another thing. We gotta do a video on that.
Oh my gosh.
Harley shops involved and everything.
I'm talking to her and I'm explaining her to what's going on.
When I told her we needed to call the ambulance, the feeling I have was so overwhelming and so, bluntly, it was extremely scary. And the kids are getting worked up about now, and Faith's crying all over the place, which is understandable. And
yep.
The medic comes in here and he says, they got me hooked up to EKG and everything. Well, the cop was here right off the bat.
Yeah, so we explained to him what was going on.
He's like, well, I was actually about to turn down your guys' road.
Yeah, and he actually kind of understood what it was that Mike was going through. And he's like, high blood pressure, and the cop is like, oh yeah, I deal with that too. So he kind of understood, the situation and everything. And so he was just kind of joking with us, keeping the situation calm and stuff. But then the paramedics showed up.
And then before the paramedics had even get in the door, the cop warned him about Jenny.
Yeah. Jenny's running the show.
The cop's like, I think her husband's going somewhere no matter what, according to her.
Yep, he was getting checked out. It didn't matter what anybody said.
I saw somebody
they were warned.
Said adrenaline pumping. So the medic came in and he hooked me up to EKG and all that. And, their blood pressure, all that. The medics are taking good care of me like they're supposed to. And the medic's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think you had an anxiety attack. And after he and I talked a little bit, I said, you know what? I'm on board with that. I think I did have an anxiety attack. But the medic was like, but the anxiety attack does not explain what you've been feeling for a week and a half. He's just had an anxiety attack because of it or other reasons.
Yeah.
And so between him and Jenny, they're basically like, one way or another, you need to go to the emergency room. And so I elected to ride with Jenny and made it safely.
But it was kind of funny. So the cop was on the other side of the table, and the paramedic asked Mike, okay, well, who do you want to take you? Do you want me to take you? Do you want your wife to take you? What do you want to do? And the cop had like really big buggy eyes, and he's like looking at the medic, looking at me, looking at the medic, thinking to himself, he's going. She's not giving him an option. And I was like, and Mike turned to me, he's like, what do you want to do? I was like, you already know what I'm going to say. Either they're taking you or I'm taking you, but you're going. And he's like, she's taking me. So it didn't matter to me how we got there.
Everything was fine. We got to the emergency room. They started running blood tests immediately, looking for that enzyme, whatever that is. And that enzyme level was way low. It was
enzyme.
What did I say?
Enzyme.
Oh, enzyme. What's an M or an N? And that was way low. EKG looking great. And the emergency room doctor wasn't really quite buying a cardiac issue.
Right.
She was leaning more towards a pulled muscle from doing a week and a half before that. Mm-hmm. And I told her a bunch of times, I was like, look, I've had...
Because it all did kind of start about the same time.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, look, what I have going on is not muscle. It is deeper. It is inside. It is... I don't have any sore muscles. And so she definitely worked with us. I mean, whatever. And I told Jenny, I said, I'm not staying the night here. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, she came in. She goes, well, we're going to admit you for the night. And he's like, okay.
Because they needed to keep taking the blood test. They take testing for those enzymes. They do it. They have it blocked out so many hours. And
by the time they got done with it, it was already going to be like 4. I think the last segment was done at like 4 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah,
or something like that.
And all of them were good.
So, I mean, it only made sense. You're going to be there anyways.
But they admitted me, and then comes Sunday. Come to find out, they don't do stress tests on Sunday. That's one of the main reasons they wanted to admit me, was to get a stress test done. So there I am Sunday doing absolutely nothing except for sitting in a hospital bed. And then they came in, so I had to wait till Monday.
Yeah.
And Jenny's hustling kids around. Jenny's doing all the barn chores and everything else. So come Monday, right? Is that the next part? Monday morning. Monday they do the stress test. You know, they give you the stuff. They take a picture of your chest. It's a picture kind of slowly goes around for 13 minutes, taking a picture of your chest.
You've got to stop moving your hand.
This one. And and I went and did the stress test, and they said the stress test looked beautiful. The EKG looked great. I told them while I was actually doing the stress, running on the treadmill, that definitely what I'm talking about, it was happening. And so then they inject more stuff in you, and they take another set of pictures after you do the stress test. And I tell you what, the 3 or 4 doctors that Jenny and I talked to,
where are you going with that?
Nobody believed it was cardiac. And so I guess kind of kudos to them. But I was pulling my hair out like, I'm telling you what, my chest feels like I'm having a heart attack. Yeah. Although I have no idea what that feels like. So, so then we had to wait a whole day for more test results. So, I mean, my parents knew about this, right? Me being in the hospital.
Yep.
But we weren't really saying anything because we expected the stress test to come back clean. All the doctors expected the stress test to come back clean. The EKG during the stress test looked fantastic. Mm-hmm. And so we just weren't saying nothing. Well, the next day after the stress test comes back, the doctor comes in. Jenny wasn't there yet because I had told her just to wait. The kids were getting sick of being in the hospital. I just kept telling Jenny, wait, don't bring the kids down here again. They wanted to see me, but I mean, how long can you keep some little kids in the hospital?
I was doing my best to keep them there as much as possible.
Because that's where Jenny wanted to be.
That's where I wanted to be. It was hard. It was hard to balance.
The doctor walks in, he shakes my hand, and he says, so, it looks like you've had a heart attack in the past.
He's
okay.
Like, did you know you had a heart attack? And he's...
No.
How does that happen?
And he says that the pictures before and after the stress test revealed that I could possibly have some blockage, that it didn't appear that blood was flowing correctly. Talk about a huge weight now on our shoulders. That was pretty, that was pretty weird. That was pretty scary, whatever.
Just getting, I mean, kids had shoes on and stuff. We didn't have anything with us. They just got done eating lunch, and we were getting ready to go do our last check on the meat birds. Hop in the car and head out. He calls me, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, good. I said, I'm loading up the kids. We're going to head your way. And he goes, well, and I'm like, I don't like a well. Phone calls don't usually start like that. And then he told me.
And honestly, Jenny and I message a lot. We don't even
talk on the phone. So for him to call me is abnormal, anyways. But yeah, he told me what was going on, and it was just like I didn't even know how to process what the doctor had said. I looked at TJ, said everybody needs to pack a bag right now. Two outfits, pajamas, whatever else it is that you want.
Gonna go to Mimi's house.
Threw them some toothbrushes. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, you just gotta give me a minute, buddy. I had to figure out where the kids were going. Were they going to my mom's or going to my sister's? And the way it turned out was my brother picked them up, took them to my sister's, and they stayed there, and they were supposed to go to my mom's the next day, but my mom kept the dog. I mean, it ended up a mess. We played musical vehicles, everything. It all ended up working out, though, but it was just, I mean, you had to prepare for something that you didn't even know how to prepare for.
It's 75 degrees outside.
There was a breeze coming in. It was chilly. I love the breeze, but I love my snuggly blankets, too.
So they were trying to jam me in Tuesday to go in there immediately, and they couldn't get it done, so they rearranged it for Wednesday morning.
Yeah, I was trying to pack for the Tuesday insanity, and at the time that I was on the phone with my mom trying to figure out, can you come get the kids? I need them picked up like within the next hour, which is not doable considering they live an hour away. And she was at work on top of that. The feed mill called, and our baby chicks were there. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with some chickens now? Like, how do I go 20 minutes the wrong way to go get chicks when the doctor's waiting for me to get there to explain what's going on so we can ship them off to another hospital? I mean, I'm pretty sure I was going to lose my mind.
Yes, and thank you to our feed mill very much. They told Jenny
that we'll just take the baby chicks home. We'll get them started. You come pick them up whenever you're ready. And I said, well, I know we're running low on food. And they said, just send whoever you need. We'll get them whatever it is you need for the farm. They have documents on for what we get for all of our animals. They could just tell them the animal and they know what we want. And we'll settle the bill whenever you can come down here.
That's pretty cool. That's a really nice thing about dealing with the local feed mill.
Yep. And then, plans got changed. They weren't able to ship them the next day. So I ran down to the feed mill, got the baby
So I told her, I
chicks.
said, hold on, just go take care of all that stuff. I'm not going today. They changed it, so...
Did that. We still sent the kids and the dog with my brother because it just made it easier. Went and got the chicks, got a ton of feed, to last us at least past the weekend and stuff. To hopefully then we knew what was going to be going on and stuff. And then so while I was there, the lady, the owner there, she's like, even if at any point in time you need me to babysit your kids, you just let me know. And I was like, well, thank you. She goes, I just love your family. I'm like, well, it's a good thing the kids love coming to the feed mill. So.
That's because she usually deals with Jenny and the kids, not me.
So yeah, that was a huge help too. That just to know that the baby chicks were going to be taken care of if we needed to, because I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to balance that.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jane did. I see what Bumblebee Junction said there.
Yes.
Jenny did a very great job of balancing farm, kids, me telling her to stop coming to the hospital. I wanted the kids to stay with Jenny because I wanted them to have the comfort of Jenny, but I didn't want all of them to have to hang out at the hospital all the time. Oh no, why is that bad? It says our stream just went really bad. We're just refreshing it to make sure. It still says bad. Hold on, let me check one thing.
Where'd you go?
I'm right here. I kind of think that's a YouTube problem. So, who's that?
All these, everybody's saying the stream looks fine. Cab 7. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cap 7.
We appreciate that.
Really, really appreciate that. That means a lot to us whenever, I can't think of the name of that.
Super chat.
Super chat. Thank you. That means a lot to us when we get that super chat. I still can't believe that says bad, and I believe that's a YouTube problem, not my problem.
It might, this might be silly, but is it just this website problem maybe?
No.
Okay.
Well, kind of. That website's YouTube.
Oh.
It's working fine. Thank you. So.
Don't.
Oh yeah. Where are we? Where are we? These people are probably like, come on, get to the end of the story. Where are we?
Do we need duct tape to keep his arms on? Yes.
Who said that?
Jason, yeah, and Bumblebee Junction, because Jason has said she's gonna slap you. You don't stop moving your arm. I keep staring at you like, would you stop moving?
Oh, that's funny. So where are we?
So
anyways, the next morning ambulance. So I ended up in an ambulance. They would not let Jenny take me.
Nope.
To the other hospital. So the ambulance takes me to the hospital, and we get in there. Really friendly people. They
real quick got you set up for the
they
test
were ready for me, and they told me that's all they do all day. Oh wait, let's back up a little bit. So then after we talked to that doctor, then the cardiologist came in to talk to me on Tuesday, and the cardiologist did not. I'm not gonna say he didn't believe the. I'm not gonna say he didn't believe the stress test, but he was very skeptical. He's like, man, he goes, you got the high blood pressure, your cholesterol's elevated, and all this, but he goes, I don't know about that stress test, but we're gonna give you the catheter test anyways, just to answer it.
Just rule it out.
And so that was that. But he was very much not convinced.
It was his partner that was going to be doing the catheter test.
Yep.
And like Mike said, this is what they do all day. That is their specialty. That's what they look at all day.
So
I can't hold his hand, Lynn, because it's irritated. It's stiff feeling and stuff. But I just keep going like this
and I'll jerk
his
it.
arm down.
So they ended up doing the catheter test with me, and they ended up going through my wrist here.
Yep, your artery.
And through the artery there. And I was all excited. I was pumped up. I was like, I'm going to watch this on the screen. I'm going to watch this on the screen, and it's going to be super cool. They told me that the medicines that they gave me weren't going to, or they probably weren't going to knock me. They're just going to relax me. And I even joked with the nurse. I was like, oh, like a 6-pack? And she goes, maybe a 6-pack plus a couple shots. And so... I had a lot of fun joking with all of them.
Oh my gosh.
And so we get back there, and the lady they're getting everything prepped and set up, and the lady comes up. She's like, okay, I'm gonna put this in your IV. It's gonna relax you. You'll still be able to do whatever we ask you to do. Mm-hmm. The doctor came in, said hi to me. He sat down. He's like, okay, we're gonna get going, all right. And I was like, cool, no problem. And I felt a pinch. I felt a pretty sharp. I mean, it was pretty. I felt it pretty good. Nothing to make me squirm or nothing, because I was probably feeling pretty good. And then I opened my eyes to a, Mike, wake up. We're all done. I was like, what? I didn't get to see nothing?
You missed all of it.
Because they had the screens where I could see them. Or for all I know, I did watch them. Who knows? But they right then and there, they told me I was fine. That everything came back perfect. Couldn't ask for better results. And I mean, what did the doctor tell you, babe?
He came in, and we're kind of expecting something to show up. I mean, with what the stress test, what they said they saw from the stress test, I'm expecting something. I'm expecting, we found a blockage, we cleared it out, we put a stent in place or whatever. That's what I'm expecting. Praying that it's not, we need to open them up for bypass surgery, but we knew that might have been a situation that very easily could have happened. And instead, he looks at me and he's like, well, we got in there and we didn't find anything. His arteries are clear. There's absolutely no blockage. There's no scar tissue. There's no indication of any damage. There's no indication of a previous heart attack. His heart is perfectly healthy. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay.
It must be because I take such good care of myself.
And he goes, this is absolutely the best case scenario you could have hoped for. And I'm like... okay, thank you. And I'm like, how do I react to that? Like, how do you, if he could have stayed in that room another 20 seconds, I probably would have been a puddle of mush on the floor, honestly, because it was, I didn't know what to do. And I'm messaging with, I text everybody, I message everybody and tell them the good news. And I'm messaging with Nanda, and she's like, I'm so relieved for you. And I was like, I'm trying to hold it together in this room. I was just so happy. I mean, we don't have answers, but...
We don't have answers yet.
It's not his heart.
So, or at least not what they've tested so far. But they, after sitting in bed for 4 days, I was really starting to feel quite a bit better. As far as like right now, I tell you right now, I have this discomfort, and it's very weird. Annoying and scary, to tell you the truth, but it's not pain, and it's not like, oh my gosh, stopping me from doing anything, but it's there. And today I was out walking around. Last night we were walking around, and it did its normal flare-up thing and everything. And so we went to see my physician today, my personal physician. Yep. And that makes me sound like a rich and fancy person, my personal physician. And we started some stuff down the road. He actually... For those times when it's flaring up, and I told him, I said, I can breathe no problem, but if I want to take a deep breath, it doesn't always complete. It just doesn't always get to that last little bit. He gave me an inhaler, and I'm, not too big. But he also gave me some reflux medicine to get started, gallbladder conversations there, a lot of stuff. So we're taking some steps. I'm also on Monday, I'll be back at the cardiologist because they want to look at that. And I have a bunch more questions for him as well.
Yep.
I mean, so we'll figure out what's going on. But for right now, I'm home, but I can't do nothing because my right hand, I cannot lift anything more than a half gallon of milk until Sunday. And somebody won't quit nagging me about it.
Nope.
Including some of the kids.
Yeah, so after we got home today, so we grabbed lunch before heading home after the doctor's appointment. And thank you, Nanda. And he got up to go pay the bill, and the kids and I all had dessert at the table, and I leaned in. I'm like, okay, listen. So Dad's still not feeling very good and can't do anything. When we get home, you 3 big kids, you're going to help me with all the meat chicken chores. And Gracie, your job, you take care of Daddy. You make sure he doesn't do anything. And she goes, I'm on it. So it was so funny.
Yeah, so I was pacing around the house. Yeah, we were out at lunch because of all the running around late. So we went out to lunch, and it was bugging me enough at lunch that I had to actually stand up from the table and kind of pace around. And then at home, not being able to do anything.
Nope. He goes to go for a walk. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I walked out to see the pigs, and I started looking through our hayfield, which is not growing back as good as I had hoped. But I get this message, what are you doing?
It's like, why are you out there walking by yourself?
Could you please just come sit on the swinging bench with me?
Just come sit on the bench. Don't do anything. Don't move. He like looks out the window. I'm like, what's wrong? What do you think about? Like, what are you doing?
June, have you had a full thyroid? No, in fact, I haven't had anything done. My doctor is currently reviewing.
Well, they pulled all sorts of blood tests, but we're not even entirely sure what all was tested for. Yeah. You know that like blood sugar levels were tested at least at one point.
My blood sugars were good. Yep.
Yep, and then the enzyme testing, and they did a like platelet testing.
And I think there's another potassium test.
I think they did a potassium test. But like we also, I mean, they did all this stuff, but we also, all we heard was
I'm liking the duct tape idea.
Your levels are normal. Like we never really got a full like numbers.
Yeah. So I know there's also between my doctor and the 2 hospitals, there's a little communication gap. So when I was in there today, they were trying to pull my records of all the tests and stuff. And there's a link missing somewhere. So he's working on getting all those test results back. And he's working on, so he can go over them. And see
that way he can pull and print everything and be able to review everything.
So we're working on it, and, you know, in theory, the heart's good.
Yeah.
Or at least with the scope, it's good.
Yep,
in theory. So we'll be discussing more stuff with the cardiologist on Monday, and
Lefty's hobby farm said that it's the beard, it's making the chest too hot. I tried with every single one of those doctors.
They were trying to get my chest x-ray, and I was like, do you need me to hold it?
And every time they put those little sticky thingies on him, he'd move his beard. I'm like, we just need to cut it off, right? Like, it's
she had most of the nurses on board with that.
Nobody actually did it, though. But it was really funny.
But I still find it odd that I just have this continuous... It doesn't go away. It's just a continuous discomfort. It might fluctuate a little, like resting right now. It might fluctuate a little, but it's not like it gets bad and then goes down and no, it's just constant. Except if I get active, and I do kind of feel a little active right now, probably because I'm moving this hand so much. But so. Yeah, so they're looking into all that, and that's where we are.
I'm going to build you like a brace, so it's stuck.
June, I don't know what a full stress test is. I know they took pictures of my heart before and after, and they had me run for quite a bit on the treadmill. I think my heart rate was up to... I think I saw that the lowest they wanted my heart rate, I saw it on the machine. I don't remember them actually telling me, but I saw it on the machine. I think it said... The lowest they wanted was 140, and I believe I was in the 170s when I quit it.
I think that's what you
And they told me I did awesome, because they were pretty much telling me, are you ready to quit? Do you feel like you have to quit? And I'm like, no. I mean, I was kind of lying. But I was like, no, I'm good. I keep going. I can run a marathon. And they actually told me before that, they were like, this is not a world's record thing. You're not like trying to, break any records here or nothing. Jason, I don't smoke. I quit smoking 4.5 years ago, but I was smoking about a pack and a half a day for 20 years prior to that. And one of the doctors started speculating about a COPD thing, possibly. they're throwing lots of things out. I'll tell you one thing I did find weird is when that catheter test was done, I ran out of that hospital so fast when they said discharge. It wasn't even funny.
I was like, does he need to wait to be wheeled out in a wheelchair? Can he walk? And she's like, well, you know, it could be either way. We could get it. And he goes, I'm walking. We're like, I told him, I said, are you sure? It's kind of a long, I mean, it seriously was like a maze getting back to his room. I told him, I said, I can't leave. I don't know how to get out of here. And I definitely won't make it back. But thankfully I did, because I did have to run to the car.
And of course, this was the hospital that I wasn't at originally. This
the one at originally, like, I could have done that blindfolded by the time that we got done.
But as we're screaming out of there, which Jenny won't let me drive, as we're screaming out of there, Jenny says, all right, Jenny's driving, and I told her, I said, well, this is actually all kind of weird. I know they wanted to, you know, for the most part, attempt to rule out the heart. But then it's like, it felt like I almost should have been going back to the other hospital to have other stuff explored, but there was no way I was staying in that hospital another minute.
Yeah, no, he was ready to go, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I see the gallstone thing going around. We've talked to a lot of people. My boss had gallstones so bad. He said he was in such pain, it was crazy. He also had a tore chest muscle that he thought he had talked himself into a heart attack about. Mm-hmm. But then my dad knows somebody that their gallbladder, if I understand my dad right, the gallbladder stopped functioning. It was even withering away, but their symptoms were very similar to mine.
Yeah.
And then we know a couple other people that had extremely bad pain. And who was the other person that had something similar to me? I forget. But so a lot of that stuff's being talked about as well. And just working on it with my doctor and seeing. Yeah,
trying to just pick away at suggestions and thoughts and do what they think to try to get some answers.
Yeah. So... what else was there?
Well, Wanda said, I'm not going to say it
Wanda
right.
did?
Yeah, Wanda, it has to do with spasms of her esophagus is what she was diagnosed with when they thought she was having heart complications just a couple months ago when she was
right. Yes, I believe that.
Yeah.
Is she under, is that her on Deep South?
Yeah, she signed it off as Wanda.
Okay.
Because she said that, she's like, I understand what you're going through, Mike. That was me just a few months ago.
Right.
But yeah, esophageal spasms or something.
Yes, I completely remember that. I remember watching those videos and everything.
I can never say anything right when it comes to the esophagus. This is weird.
I have you guys are all like, we're out of here. If it was up to Jenny, Nanda, if it was up to Jenny, I didn't really give Jenny an option or time to think about it. I ran.
Yeah. I think if I had stopped and paused and thought about it, okay, great, it's not the heart, but what is it? I would have taken him back to the other hospital and been like, okay, they said no, it's not the heart, let's keep going. Only because I want answers. So, like, kind of the minute that I opened my eyes this morning, my brother had called me, and so I called him back because he wanted an update on what was going on. And as soon as I hung up with him, I hadn't even had coffee yet. I'm on the phone with the doctor's office. I'm like, we got to get him in. Right. And I went in and I woke him up, and he's like, time to get up. I'm like, yeah, we need to leave in about an hour. You have to go see the doctor. And he's like, oh, why am I waking up? It's like, we gotta go.
That is another weird thing. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, forget about that. But I do have, so we haven't like prepped anything. We didn't not even know until about an hour ago.
That we were going to do
Or, well, I mean, I'm sorry, until shortly after 8 o'clock that we were even going to do this. So,
yeah.
I hear you, June, and I am going to be talking to my cardiologist more on, is it Monday morning you made the appointment?
Monday morning.
Yes, and so while I understand my heart might not be completely ruled out, the news that we have right now,
it's
blockage. Got a weight lifted off of our shoulders right now.
It's not a blockage, and it wasn't a heart attack. So that's all good news. Yeah, I did all that this morning without coffee. Now,
I actually haven't had coffee since Saturday.
What I did the 5 days prior, I could not have done without coffee. It was not pretty. It was not pretty. But it was done. So.
Hey, I got a question. Who has seen the videos on Facebook of what does YES spell and what does EYES spell? Who's seen those videos? I'm going to change the subject here a little bit.
See? Oh,
what?
The chat's yelling at you. You're getting people.
Guys, you guys are disappointing me. I told Jenny you'd be on my side.
They have said to duct tape your arm, to zip tie your arm to your belt.
We did actually just buy zip ties.
Oh, yeah, we did. I got like 500 of them. That's too funny. So a couple people have seen it.
All right.
We have our own variation.
We have our own variation. I would like, please, somebody just let us know that you can hear the video, okay? Because we can't, unfortunately. And I think I'll do this in parts. Oh. All right. All right. I'm going to back it up. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. I got an idea. Okay, yep. I see. Default. Let's try again. All right. I didn't have much time to set this up and practice. Okay, let's try again. Going back for sound again. Come on, stand up, girl. All right. Now you're like the smartest kid in the world, right? What does EYES spell? Hey. What does YES spell?
Yes.
All right, I know you're super smart, sister. What does EYES spell? Okay, I'm probably just going to do this in bits and pieces here. Come on, think about it. Wait, okay, let's start.
Yes.
What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna mute that for a minute. We just started showing your video.
You did?
Yes. Okay. All right. So we're gonna continue it. Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you put it on there first? Now we can't hear it, Faith. Okay, but we're letting them listen to it. Faith. And we have Faith's full permission to put this on here. Faith is so good about this stuff. YES spell.
Yes.
Very good. What does EYES spell?
Yesy.
Do it again.
Okay, you want me to start over? Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
And what does EYES spell?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, what grade are you going into?
4th.
How old are you?
9.
Okay, all right, let's try again. Okay, you got your brain all cleared? YES.
Yes.
EYES.
Yes.
All right, Faith, come here. Okay. I want you to shake your head and get it all worked out of there. All right, here we go, Faith. 9-year-old 4th grader. What does YES spell?
Yes.
EYES.
Yes.
I'm sorry, come here. Were you kind of at the top of your class?
Yes.
YES. All right. So YES spells.
Yes.
And EYES spells.
Yes. Yes.
ES? I'm thinking that's kind of wrong. So YES.
Yes.
EYES.
Yes.
Okay, Faith, I got a question for you. Was this fun or was this irritating?
Both.
Faith loves figuring out puzzles and stuff, so And I asked her before. I said, Faith, cool, because Jenny's gonna put it on Facebook. And I said, Faith, do you mind if Mom puts that on Facebook? And she's like, no, it was funny, it was good, it's okay. And then I told her, I said, I'm gonna put that in the live show tonight. And she said, you better not, Dad. And then she was giggling and laughing, and she was fine. You're fine with it, right, babe?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's finish it up.
Let's finish it up and get it done with.
Here, let me put it on here first. Sorry.
I think there's 30 seconds left, maybe. I really don't know. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to talk to your teacher, okay? We're gonna have to talk to. Well, we won't say what your teacher's name last year was. All right, so YES.
Yes.
I'm going and getting your teacher. EYES.
Vowel, yes.
All right, should I give her a hint? Okay, YES.
Yes.
EYES. Oh, that was too much fun, and that is how Faith is the kid that we can joke around with, and we can. Faith just got a good sense of humor and everything else, and she didn't let that bug her or nothing.
She thought it was hilarious afterwards. And she's like, why didn't I get that?
And Jenny and I were like, vowel yes. That was the first time we'd heard that answer.
I heard vowel yes. It was hilarious.
Oh, I actually, we didn't mean for that to be a video. I had started just playing around with Faith. I actually kind of thought Faith would get it pretty quick. But then Jenny saw what was going on, and Jenny picked up the camera and started videoing.
Yeah, he had already asked her twice before I started videoing, and she wasn't getting it. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this.
But Faith is the one to do practical jokes and stuff on.
I hide behind doors and scare her. She screams and then just laughs. But then she retaliates, and she hides behind walls and stuff. So, yeah, it's so funny.
Grace, Jason says that your daddy is moving his arm, and you need to stop me from moving my arm.
You need to tell Daddy he needs to stop moving his arm.
You have to stop moving my arm. Is it this arm or this arm?
It's this arm.
It's this one right here.
Tell Daddy, be good, don't move it.
I remember that one time I was gonna
you do a good job taking care of me.
I was doing the rabbit, and then you were hiding behind
the
center
door. That was so funny.
you jumped at me. I screamed and I pressed so loud.
Faith is the one we can have a lot of fun with. All right, girls. We're probably gonna get wrapping up here. Jenny's got a cousin to call.
Yep.
Actually, she's got to call the cousin. So Saturday night, is it okay to say all that?
I think.
Okay, so Saturday night, one thing that might have worked me into a panic deal is, or anxiety attack, or whatever you want to call it, is we were talking about her cousin. Her husband drove our horse up to us. It's their horse that we got. And he drove it all the way up here from Missouri for us.
Yep.
And drove all the way home.
All the way back.
And about a week or two later, he was not feeling well and not very full of energy.
No, he was just not feeling well for a few days. He went to work Monday morning, and she called and made a doctor's appointment.
You're welcome, JM.
And called and made a doctor's appointment, and so, she was like, you need to go in. I don't remember exactly what time it was for an appointment. He said, okay, so he left work and went in. And they
Thank
told
you, Deborah.
They're like, sir, we need to get you to the hospital. You need to have heart surgery. And off they went, and like things just got crazy for a couple days as they did all the testing and everything that needed to be done. And they determined that he needed a triple bypass. And so he goes in for the surgery.
So we're reliving this Saturday as I'm not feeling good.
Yeah. And he went in for surgery, and they opened him up, and he actually needed a quadruple bypass surgery. They were very surprised that he was alive. It was that bad. And we kind of think that conversation probably is what led to the anxiety attack that
Along
prompted.
with, I was starting to get worried of a week feeling like this, so And like I said, I still got it, but working it with the doctor. So Alderman Farms in the house. I don't know if they just. I haven't been paying attention to the chat
I think they just got here.
Okay, awesome. That was great, Jenny. The Alderman's mentioned us a couple times in a couple videos,
Yep,
and they even put out a video.
Videos. Yep, they mentioned us asking for prayers, and then when we got the news, I messaged Tommy and told him what was going on, and so he asked if we wanted to put the word out, and I said yes, if you don't mind, please let everybody know. And so we're very appreciative of that.
We love the Aldermans. We love all you guys.
Yes.
But so yeah, one of the things with all that though is I didn't really want to put anything out Sunday or Monday. We didn't have any test results back yet. And I just didn't want to put anything out because
we didn't know anything. What's there to say? I don't feel good. I'm at the hospital. Well, it just worries everybody.
And then I made a post on my personal Facebook page Tuesday evening, I guess.
Tuesday, yep.
But yeah, we thank you for all the thoughts and prayers and good wishes and by gollies and whatever.
By gollies.
I just wanted to say by golly.
You kind of act like you've been wanting to say that for a while.
I know. I'm kind of by golly. I'm kind of happy I said it. But so hopefully we get this taken care of soon. We definitely got some food for thought, some great ideas in this chat.
Yes. Got some messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything?
I don't think so. It's been exhausting.
I see there's somebody's here, and if they want to or able to, they could still do what we had talked about earlier. It's all fired up, ready to go on my end. If not, perfectly fine. We don't gotta fire it up. It's all good. So,
how's the Hootenanny coming? As far as we know, everything's going along smoothly. We've both kind of been a little bit detached from it the past couple days. We did have, a couple people say if we needed help with any planning or anything like that, to just, let them know, and they would kind of take over the reins a little bit for us. But I think everything's going just about as good as it could be.
What I can't believe is it's next weekend.
Yeah, he wasn't quite prepared for that yesterday when I told him. He's like, oh man. I'm like, it's okay, we go. Really, there's not a whole lot that has to be done.
And that was one of the big things about it, was this was going to be a show up, easy. Bring some food, and we'll hang out for, what is it, 6 hours, 5 hours?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
right now.
I think it's 1 to 6. Well,
hey, sorry.
Let's look at our. Which one is it, baby?
I don't know. That one.
Well, there's the channels going.
Oh yeah.
But
that 1 to 6.
Yeah, 1 to 6.
Thank you, Kristen Rad, for having that put together on there.
Kristen Rad got that put together for us. How awesome is that? So if you managed to sit through this whole ordeal about my very boring week, we'll probably have a video published about it in just about 20 or 30 minutes after this ends.
Yes.
I had uploaded a video in hopes of getting it out about an hour before the live show. But
Grace had to put on a fashion show.
Grace had a fashion show.
And you can't deny a 4-year-old a fashion show.
Nope.
And she wasn't going to let us anyways, so.
Right. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Not up on her end. So. Yeah, so we don't really have anything else prepared to talk about tonight. Anybody got any questions about stuff? Squash is looking great. Still exploding. A lot of the squash plants are kind of actually dying off, though. We've had no rain. We got a ½ inch of rain today, and we need a lot more.
Yeah, we do. But it was nice to have some rain. That's the thing, is like with the crazy of running around the past couple days, I knew that the garden needed to be watered, but I wasn't home long enough to water the garden. The only time that I was home for a length of time was when I was sleeping, and then I would get up, do the chores, get the kids around, and we would try to head out the door as quickly as possible. And my mind is just in other places as well. So we really needed the rain, so I'm happy for that. We might still need to go ahead and water, but I've got green beans to harvest, I have cucumbers to harvest, I have squash to harvest, tomatoes to string up still. So I have a lot of work that now tomorrow, I'm like, okay, tomorrow's a work day. Got to get this stuff
I don't know how I'm going to help, but I will be helping. We got a lot of potatoes in the ground where the whole tops are completely wilted off. Yeah. I can use my left hand and dig in there.
You can supervise. Kids and I can work. It's perfectly fine.
Did not get the tractor running. In fact, I was supposed to be looking at other tractors this week. In fact, I have to call that guy tomorrow. We did discover that the tractor is just the hub is worn out. That's, you guys know I'm not a mechanic. That's above me. So I got a guy that's willing to fix it. But we're also looking at upgrading a little more horsepower, some external hydraulics or wet lines, whatever you want to call them. Definitely got to have PTO. Definitely got to have 3-point and not kill the bank account. And so now we're at a point where we're like, I want to find a slightly upgraded tractor, and so I don't want to fix the other one right off the bat.
Right.
So, but if we can't find one, then I need to get the other one fixed.
Yeah,
so,
we're kind of in limbo with that.
Right.
Jason says that you can be the official spud counter.
1, 2, 3.
People have asked about the bees too, and I know that Becker's had emailed while you were in the hospital asking how the bees was. I know how the bees are doing, but I don't explain things very well, and I don't know.
Lots of stuff going on. Last I knew, there was no queen in there. It's the same report as last time.
One.
The same report as last time is the last time I've been in there because I haven't had time. Pretty sure the queen's gone, which is very unfortunate because the same thing happened last year.
Yeah.
We were having it arranged with Jenny's sister-in-law's mom to get a queen, but then a lot of this stuff happened and other stuff. I mean, I was slacking on getting a hold of her a little bit. Yeah, I was slacking on getting a hold of her a little bit, and then this past week the hospital thing. So I don't know about the bee thing right off the bat.
Yeah, we don't really know what the status is.
I did pop the top today when I was out there.
I saw you over there, and I was wondering what you were doing.
With my good hand. And they were up in that upper frame, or that upper box.
And we do see bees going in and out.
There's still a lot of bees.
Yeah, in and out of the big box. In the small box, nada.
Yeah, the other frame's done. They never recovered.
Everything is gone in there. So.
Which is so odd. That second one really confuses me too because there was larvae in that one and stuff too, and it never.
But it's a little bit more exposed on that outside.
Yeah. We're really wondering if the spraying that the farmer does has affected that now.
Because he did spray his wheat a few times this year. Yeah, so when we last checked on the bees, and Jenny and I found a queen, we saw larvae, we saw brood, we saw honey. I mean, it was like, wow, we see all this. This is so cool. And then it was about 3 weeks later, I went back out to add the medium on top along with the queen excluder. And there was no brood. Tanked. There was nothing, no queen. I think a very little brood left. Very little bit of cat brood left. Even the supercells looked hollowed, like there was nothing in them. Yeah. But in between those two checks, they sprayed the wheat. And Jenny had even commented that they sprayed on a nice day because there was absolutely no wind that day. Yep. But like one of our neighbors showed up and said, you know, those bees, they go out and about. I mean, they roam for 3 miles, and that spray could go for 3 miles. So, I mean, you just don't know. They could have.
Jason, I don't disagree with you on changing the location, except the same thing happened in a different location. We put it closer to the road last year, but hopefully it was a little more farther away and sheltered from the fields. Yeah. And then this year, I thought the spot that they were in were actually even better because it's down in a little lull, and it's a couple hundred feet away from. Yeah, it's got to be at least a couple hundred feet away from the field, and then on one side's all of our property, and the other side's all woods. The other side's going through woods, and then the road, and so it's pretty far from the hay. I don't know. Definitely be trying again next year. So yeah. So. Well, we're really glad everybody. I saw another question about something. I saw bees. Tractor.
Somebody did ask how the chickens are doing with the tractor, and I meant to I have more pictures of them. So y'all probably, if you followed us on Instagram, you probably saw we didn't post any pictures on Sunday. We didn't post any pictures on Monday. But then on Tuesday, Nanda, you gotta stop doing that, lady. Thank you so much.
And the world record goes to.
We really do
Thank you, Nanda.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
But you're over your limit now.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, Nanda.
Nanda The boss of me. Yeah, I might be getting that a little bit wrapped up in my head. Too much bossing people around at this point. Because I told you, I was like, I'm kid-free at this other hospital. I am just making sure that this stuff gets taken care of.
JM, we really appreciate that. Sorry, baby.
Oh, no, you're fine.
It's in the, well, Jenny knows it off the top of her head, but it's in the description of all of our videos. And I'm pretty sure it's even in the description of all of our live videos. Do you know it off the top of your head?
I do. It's P.O. Box 444, Somerset Center, Michigan, 49282. But to answer the question, or to talk more, I started putting pictures back up on Instagram on Tuesday because we weren't putting out there anything that was going on. I was like, if I don't get something on Instagram, these people are going to be like, where are the Pratts?
And I think people know. I don't think this
blow up Instagram. So I have a pickle seed on my hand. Thank you, children.
Jenny can use that, Nanda, to go out and get a massage. unless she'll let me.
Or
with my hand.
Don't tell me. There's a horse sale down the road on Saturday.
Sure. Buy a horse for $35 and be in debt for the rest of your life.
I told him, I was like, I might need to go do some therapy shopping after all of this. And he's
she is kind of planning on going and doing that with her mom.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
Well, not buying.
Oh no, you just gave me permission.
No, I did not.
But the chickens are doing very well in their tractors.
Thank you, Tim.
We have to keep them positioned a certain way to kind of help with the rain because we don't have anything covering on one side. But
I haven't had a chance to fix them
after
yet.
he's healed, or if he trusts me enough to attempt to do something with power tools, then maybe we can get something constructed.
You give the wrong idea here. I don't ever stop her from anything.
Oh.
No.
No, but I bashed myself on the sidewalk. Putting power tools in my hands is dangerous.
Yeah, so last week, Jenny was out of the game again last week. Was that after our live show Thursday?
Oh, no, I was hurting Thursday.
She tripped on air.
No, I didn't trip on air. I tripped on the sidewalk.
On that crack in the sidewalk that is flush with all the other cracks. And
one of the questions, because they have to ask a bunch of questions.
And she took her shoulder out. She couldn't do anything.
It was sore. But one of the questions
was
at the hospital was, have you recently taken a fall in the last 30 days or whatever? And he went, nope, that's her department. And the nurse was like, okay.
We had a lot of fun joking around with all those nurses and doctors and stuff. We had them rolling.
Oh, that was too funny.
I actually got told I was one of the best patients ever.
Yes, many times. Many times I heard that your personality and stuff just brightened the whole atmosphere, just made everything better, because he was
in the one hospital.
Yeah, the first hospital warned the second hospital, he's coming and you're gonna have your hands full, because he is
in a good joking way.
He's just full of jokes and makes everybody laugh and gives them a hard time, which just makes everybody laugh more. It was too funny.
No kidding, Deep South, I hear ya. Too young to fall apart.
We need a few months where the two of you are healthy at the same time. Yeah, that would be nice.
But then we might end up broke at the same time, and that wouldn't be good.
Well, we were very close between my arm and then my stomach and then my arm. I was just
I like that.
I
like that. Samantha. You say
Plumidor?
Her name. Plumidor. Thank you. It's called ghost holes when people fall with no apparent visible reason. That is Jenny and Faith. Faith, the one we just did the video with. That is Jenny and Faith. Always tripping, falling. Faith chokes on air. That girl chokes on everything. She'll be walking along. What's wrong? She'll be like, oh, I just choked her. Just choking on air. Oh my goodness. Watch out, Jenny. Yeah, I'm liking the ghost hole thing. I'm using that from now on. I love the ghost hole.
Maybe when the doctor asked you if you have a stressful life, you should have said yes, between my daughter and my wife.
That is another thing the doctors were asking a lot about. Trying to focus if this was an anxiety thing that was constantly there. And it was kind of weird. Jenny and I actually talked about it on the way to the hospital that night, I think. Or was it the day before? I had told Jenny, I said,
It was that night.
Things there's not a lot of stress right. Yeah, we're busy with our stuff, but things just seem really good right now. There's not like a lot of stress or anything. Yeah, we got our things we got to get done and whatever, but just things just kind of have seemed like they've been good lately. I don't know.
Other than me hurting myself.
I mean, they're always good, but I mean, there's not been anything stressful or anything.
No, sometimes you can just tell that it's more hectic and frantic, and but it hasn't quite. Now, when the tomatoes all start turning red at the same time, that might be a little bit of a different story. So.
Oh, Jason, the bubble wrap suits. Let's see if I could dig up some old pictures.
Bubble wrap.
Just joking. Yeah, just make it to the conference.
You know those big bubbles that people get in, and they can like roll and slam into each other. That's what I think I need.
We have a couple awesome hills. That would be so fun to do.
Oh my gosh, I would get so nauseous.
Is that what that's called? A Zorb ball? Is that what
that is? I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is or not. But those things, I think that they would be cool. My mom and dad and brother and 2 nephews actually did that in Frankenmuth one year. They got inside those things and were like, that was crazy.
That'd be cool.
Yep, Zorb ball.
Yep, cool.
Oh my goodness. That was too funny.
Take care. It looks like Tina's kicking us out of here.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we need to go anyways.
Yep, I have a phone call.
Jenny's got to call that cousin of hers, and kids should probably, go to bed sometime tonight. And
yeah, sleep's overrated.
Yeah. Ew, if you ever go to the hospital and you're
there
for 3 or 4 days, you don't get any sleep in the hospital. Jenny and I got home last night, yesterday afternoon. Her mom still had the kids.
No, my sister had the kids. She's like, you can't have your kids back until after dinner because my sister
had already made a ton of food.
Huge container of meatballs, and so she's like, your kids have to stay to eat this. So I'm like, that's okay.
And so being in the hospital, they poke and prod you every 2 to 4 hours, blood pressure, whatever. And then Jenny was at her wit's end, so she obviously wasn't sleeping at home or anything. We got home, and Jenny goes, do you want to lay down with me for a couple minutes? And I said, yeah, we can do that. But then we're kind of planning on going out to dinner for ourselves before the kids get home. What was it, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it was
boom,
up
we
on
were
2
out.
hours. I wake up, and there's like Facebook messages and text messages and emails and a missed phone call. I'm like, whoa, I didn't hear any of that. My mom's like, I'm picking the kids up at 6. And I look at my phone, it's like 5:54. I'm like, hey, if we're going to go have dinner, we need to get up and go. It's like, they're going to be home.
I don't think that even took 30 seconds, and we were out.
Yeah.
But
it was just, we were exhausted.
What?
Yeah. The nurses always ask why I'm not sleeping.
Right.
Because you won't stay out of my room.
Right. Try getting out of my face.
You don't need to check my blood pressure. This little thing you attached to me is telling you I'm alive. Go on.
Oh. Too much fun.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we got a fly flying around. All right, guys. We're going to sign off. Jenny's going to stop it. Because I would have to use this hand.
Oh, you haven't moved it enough?
No, I've been keeping it nice and steady. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for their well wishes and all that good stuff. We really appreciate it and your thoughts and ideas and everything. So
yes.
We're going to explore it all. Thanks, guys.
Bye.